Welcome everyone. Nice hot smoky day here in Central California. My truck's in the shop getting a new transmission. So I emptied it out and started doing inventory of everything I've got. And while I was doing that, I came across quite a few tools here that I just haven't used since I started my handyman business well over a year ago. Did hundreds and hundreds of jobs. Obviously, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with these tools. But I just haven't had a need for them. And so it's likely that I'm not going to continue to carry them around and free up some space for a few other things in the future. So let's just jump right into it. First one, we've got this flexible claw. I saw this on the Gosforth Handyman. I also remember my dad having one when I was a kid. Never found a use for it. Next up, this mallet that I got from Harbor Freight. It's got kind of a rubber head here. It's got a softer head on this side. They're removable, replaceable. I doubt that they even sell replacements. This thing hasn't been used one time. It's just been kicking around in the drawer. Next up, my ridgid 501 plumbing tool. Now I've done dozens and dozens of sinks, garbage disposals, dishwashers, kitchen sinks, bathroom sinks, faucets, all kinds of things, and there's never been a situation where this thing worked. I just couldn't get it behind a sink. It's just so large and cumbersome. Using a little pair of slip joint pliers or a crescent style wrench has always worked. This thing's never worked for me. Next up, small hacksaw, or any hacksaw for that matter. You know, it's funny, I saw this on the truck and I was like, oh, I've never used this thing. So I went digging in my other tools, and of course I found a couple other ones in the shop and in the garage. They've never been used either. Anytime I need to cut something, I usually use a grinder with a cutoff blade, or it's a small bolt and I'm using a pair of bolt cutters. Things have just never come in useful for me. Next up, needle nose vice grips. I keep a bigger pair of vice grips on the truck, and those have been used on occasion. But this needle nose variant, never been used. I don't think they'll ever get used. I just can't think of too many situations where, as a handyman, this would come in useful. Left-handed and straight cut tin snips. Now, I do also keep right-handed tin snips on the truck, and these get used all the time. The left-handed ones, I understand, you're doing sheet metal work, you need to make a left-handed cut. That's what those are coming in useful for. I don't use them. I don't do virtually any sheet metal work. I think I bought this as a set, or I thought I needed all three. The straight cut ones, they don't work any better than the right cut ones. So these are always the ones I grab. I'm right-handed. They've done everything that I've ever tried to use them for. I've never had to reach for these. So these guys are gone. A completely unused set of step bits. I was excited when I got these, thought that they would come in useful. There's never been a situation where I needed to drill something in metal or plastic that would warrant something like this. I do use hole saws, spade bits, that kind of thing on a regular occasion. But these things have never been used. It's unfortunate. Makes me sad. Probably spent a lot of money on these. This Weehaw 1/4-inch insulated screwdriver with built-in bit storage, which is really cool. It's a really cool design. But man, the head on this thing's too big. You put a number 2 square in there, you can't do breakers. You got to fumble with the bits. I keep dedicated screwdrivers in the bag already. They're a lot quicker and more useful. So this thing's just been kicking around a drawer. It's a shame. Speaking of 1/4-inch, I've got this T-handled Philo brand 1/4-inch bit driver. Again, there's never been a situation where I needed to have a T-handled screwdriver. I see people talk about them. They've got them in their bags all the time. They got them in their toolbox. I'm curious to know on a regular basis what people would use something like this for. I've never had a need for it. I've never gone looking for it. Again, something just kind of kicking around in the box. Seems like a big waste. 90-degree flexible impact rated attachment for your drill or your impact. People talk about these all the time, how useful they are for getting into those tight spots, those hard to access things. Well, I've just done hundreds of jobs, appliances, all sorts of things. Never thought that I needed to go reach for this ever. Getting close to wrapping it up here. I got this Phillips head version of my offset screwdriver. I have a flathead version that's in my bag, and I use it all the time on lots of electrical jobs, taking off and putting back face plates. Phillips head version, never been used. And to round it all out, the most disappointing is the stubby screwdriver. Everybody's got something like this in their bag or their box. People are always talking about them. They got ratcheting versions. There's never been a situation where I said, where's my stubby handled screwdriver? I can't get to this fastener. Again, there's probably lots of trades out there that may use this on a regular basis. Maybe if you're working on HVAC equipment or something like that. But boy, in hundreds and hundreds of jobs, and I use them screwdrivers on lots of jobs, there's never been a time where I needed a stubby handled screwdriver. So anyway, that wraps it up, folks. That's 13 tools that I've never used as a handyman. I'm sure there's lots of people out there that use this kind of stuff on a regular basis. It's their go-to, but I just haven't used them. I feel like maybe I've wasted my money. Maybe they'll come in handy in the future, but at this point they haven't. I'd love to hear in your comments what you use some of this stuff for, especially on a regular basis. Maybe I'm forgetting something or I'm missing out on something. But anyway, thanks for watching.